My mom said, "Your 3-year-old is too loud for family cruise this year." My dad nodded like it was obvious. I packed up and left without arguing. I also canceled the tickets and closed the joint account they were supposed to pay with. By morning, my phone was blowing up with their panicked calls. My mother looked me dead in the eye and said, "Your 3-year-old is too loud for the family cruise this year." Just like that. My dad nodded like she just stated a simple fact. "It's obvious, honey," he added calmly. I stood there in their living room, my daughter Lily playing with blocks at my feet, completely unaware that her own grandparents had just uninvited her from a trip we'd been planning for 6 months. I didn't yell. I didn't cry. I didn't even argue. I just smiled, picked up Lily and walked out. You know what I did next? I went straight home and canceled every single ticket for that cruise. All 9 of them. Then I closed the joint vacation account we'd set up and transferred every penny back to my personal account. By 6 a.m. the next morning, my phone started ringing. And ringing. And ringing. But let me back up because you need to understand how we even got here. My parents had always been controlling. Where I went to college, who I dated, everything had to be their way. When I married my husband Derek 5 years ago, they barely hid their disappointment that he was a teacher instead of a doctor. But when Lily was born, that's when things got really weird. At first, they were excited grandparents, buying toys, taking photos, posting on Facebook about their precious grandbaby. But the moment Lily started acting like an actual toddler, they started pulling back. My mom would make passive-aggressive comments like, "Well, some children are just naturally better behaved." My dad would literally leave the room if she cried. Do you think that's normal? Because I started questioning myself. Was Lily actually difficult, or were my parents just allergic to reality? My best friend Rachel kept telling me I wasn't crazy. "Your daughter is 3. She's supposed to be loud." But my parents made me feel like I was bringing chaos into their perfect world every time I visited. The cruise idea came up last Thanksgiving. My mom had this whole vision of a multi-generational bonding experience. A week-long Caribbean cruise, all of us together. She showed me brochures, talked about the kids' club on board. "Lily will love it," she'd said. I was honestly touched. Maybe this was their way of reconnecting with her. We set up a joint account in January. Everyone was supposed to contribute for their portion. Derek and I put in $3,000 right away. My parents said they'd add their share soon. February came. March. April. Every time I asked, my mom had an excuse. I should have seen the red flags, but I was too focused on planning activities for Lily, buying her little cruise outfits. Then 2 weeks ago, we all met at my parents' house to finalize details. My brother Owen was there with his wife Cassidy. They don't have kids and Cassidy has never been warm toward Lily. My Aunt Margaret and Uncle Frank came too. They've always just agreed with whatever my parents say. We were going over dining reservations when Lily accidentally knocked over one of my mom's decorative vases. It didn't break, just tipped onto the carpet. I immediately got up to fix it, but the look on my mom's face. "This is exactly what I'm talking about," she said sharply. I froze. "What do you mean?" My dad sighed heavily. "Sweetheart, we need to talk about the cruise." That's when my mom said it. "We've been thinking, and with Lily being so energetic, we're concerned. Cruises have a certain atmosphere, and young children who can't control their volume can really disrupt that for everyone." I felt my face get hot. "She's 3. She knocked over a vase by accident." "It's not just about the vase," my dad interrupted. "Small children are loud. They have meltdowns. This trip is supposed to be relaxing, and we don't think it's fair to subject everyone to that level of chaos." Can you even imagine hearing your own parents say that about your child? I looked around the room. Owen wouldn't meet my eyes. Cassidy was nodding along. Aunt Margaret looked uncomfortable but silent. Uncle Frank was suddenly very interested in his phone. "So what are you saying?" I asked, shaking. "We think it would be best if you and Derek came without her this time," my mom said. "You could leave her with Derek's parents for the week. And in a few years, when she's older and better behaved, she can join us," my dad added. Better behaved. My 3-year-old needed to be better behaved to earn their acceptance. I felt Derek tense beside me. But I touched his arm and looked at my daughter, completely unaware that her grandparents were discussing her like a problem to be managed. Something inside me just clicked. "You know what?" I said, standing up. "You're absolutely right. The cruise isn't appropriate for Lily." I picked her up. "Derek, can you grab the diaper bag?" My mom looked surprised. "Oh. Well, I'm glad you're being reasonable." "We won't be attending either," I said. "If Lily isn't welcome, then we're not coming." "Now, honey, don't be dramatic," my dad started. "I'm not being dramatic. I'm being a mother." We left. No slamming doors, no scene. I left. The whole drive home I was eerily calm. Derek kept glancing at me, clearly worried. But I wasn't sad. I was furious. And more than that, I was done. What do you think I should have done? Should I have tried to change their minds? When we got home and put Lily to bed, I told Derek my plan. He stared at me, then started laughing, relieved laughter. Do it, he said. They've had this coming. So I did. I canceled all 9 reservations. Then I logged into that joint account, the one I'd set up with my name as primary holder. My parents hadn't deposited a single dollar yet. I transferred our $3,000 back to our personal account and closed it entirely. Then I went to bed. The next morning started at 6:03 a.m. My phone rang. My mom. I declined. She called again. Declined. Then my dad. Then Owen. Then Cassidy. Then Aunt Margaret. 17 missed calls before 7 a.m. I was feeding Lily breakfast, watching her make a mess with yogurt, when my phone buzzed with a text from my mom. Call me immediately. There's a problem with the cruise reservations. Then my dad. The account is closed? What is going on? Then Owen. Mom is freaking out. What did you do? I texted my mom back 3 words. Problem solved. Enjoy. My phone started ringing immediately. I turned it off. Derek took the day off work. He knew this would escalate. Around 10 a.m. someone started pounding on our door. Through the peephole I could see my mom and dad on our porch. My mom was practically vibrating with rage. Should we answer it? Derek asked. I thought about all the times I'd bent over backward to keep the peace. All the times I'd made excuses for their behavior. Then I thought about Lily. About the example I wanted to set for her. Did I want to teach her that family can treat you however they want? Or that self-respect and boundaries matter? So what would you have done? Would you have opened that door? I opened it. My mom pushed past me. What have you done? She screamed. Do you have any idea what you've done? I canceled the cruise reservations, I said calmly. Like you suggested. Lily wasn't welcome, so we're not going. We didn't say we couldn't go, my dad sputtered. We just thought it would be better if Lily stayed home because she's too loud and inconvenient. I finished. Yeah, I got that. So I made it easier. No one has to deal with my loud, chaotic child now. You canceled everyone's tickets? My mom shrieked. Your brothers? Margaret's? How dare you? The reservations were in my name. I booked them. And since you hadn't contributed a single dollar to the joint account, I figured you wouldn't miss what you never paid for. My dad's face went red. That account was for the family. You had no right. I had every right. My name was on it. My money was in it. You're being incredibly selfish, my mom hissed. Everyone has taken time off work. And you're ruining it because you can't handle a little constructive criticism. She thought telling me my child wasn't welcome was constructive criticism. Get out, I said quietly. Excuse me. Get out of my house. You don't get to come here and insult my family anymore. What happened next? Well, my mom said something I never expected to hear from my own mother. And my phone? It didn't stop ringing for 3 days. But I wasn't done. Not even close. My mom's face went completely white, then red. You are making the biggest mistake of your life, she said, her voice shaking. When you come crawling back apologizing, don't expect us to just forgive you. I won't be crawling back, I said firmly. Now leave. They left, but not before my dad muttered something about me being just like my grandmother. Which was funny because my grandmother, my mom's own mother, had cut contact with my mom for years before she died. I never knew why. Now I was starting to understand. The calls kept coming. Owen left me a voicemail saying I'd crossed a line, and that Cassidy was devastated about the trip. Aunt Margaret sent a long text about family loyalty. Uncle Frank actually apologized, saying he understood why I was upset, but couldn't I have handled it differently? Could I have? Maybe. But honestly, I didn't care anymore. 3 days later, something unexpected happened. Derek's mom, Patricia, called me. Now, Patricia and I have always gotten along fine, but we're not super close. She's sweet but kind of quiet, keeps to herself mostly. Honey, she said, I heard what happened. With the cruise. My stomach dropped. Had my parents called her? Were they trying to get Derek's family on their side? I want to tell you something, Patricia continued. Something I probably should have told you years ago. She paused and I heard her take a deep breath. When Derek was born, your mother told me I was holding him wrong. At the hospital. I had just given birth and she came to visit and literally tried to take him out of my arms because I wasn't supporting his head properly. The nurses had to ask her to leave. I sat down. What? Mom never told me that. There's more. When Derek was 2, we came to your parents' house for Easter. He spilled juice on their white carpet. Complete accident. Your mother didn't speak to me for 6 months. She told people at church that I was raising a destructive child, and that she was concerned about Derek's influence, on you when you two started dating. My mouth fell open. Patricia, I had no idea. I never said anything because I didn't want to cause problems between you and your parents. But watching them do the same thing to Lily that they did to my son? I can't stay quiet anymore. Do you think family members should tell you these things? Or is it better not to know? Your mother has always needed everything to be perfect, Patricia said softly. And when it's not, she pushes it away. She did it to her own mother, she did it to me, and now she's doing it to you. I'm proud of you for standing up to her. Derek is too. After we hung up, I just sat there. My whole life I'd thought my parents were just particular, maybe a little strict. I didn't realize they had a history of cutting people out for not meeting their impossible standards. That night, Derek's dad Bob called. Bob is usually a man of few words, but he was fired up. Your parents called here, he said. Wanted us to talk sense into you. I told them if they ever tried to exclude my granddaughter from anything again, they'd have a real problem with me. Patricia wanted to be polite, but I'm done being polite. Actually laughed. Bob had always been so diplomatic around my parents. Hearing him defend Lily like that made me tear up. Thanks, Bob, I managed. That little girl is perfect, he said gruffly. She's 3. He's supposed to be loud. That's what 3-year-olds do. Your parents are idiots. The next morning, I got a call from a number I didn't recognize. Against my better judgment, I answered. Is this Jenna? A woman's voice asked. Yes. This is Diane, your grandmother's neighbor. I know this is out of the blue, but I've been trying to reach you for years. Your mother kept blocking my calls. My heart started racing. My grandmother? She died when I was 12. I know, honey. Before she passed, she gave me something to give to you when you turned 18. But every time I tried to contact you, your mother interfered. Then I lost track of you until I saw your name on a Facebook post your Aunt Margaret made about some cruise drama. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. What did she give you? Letters. A whole box of them. Letters she wrote to you explaining why she couldn't be around your mother anymore. She wanted you to understand when you were old enough. Would you have wanted to read those letters? Or would it be too painful? I can mail them to you, Diane offered. She also left you some money. Not a fortune, but enough. She put it in a trust that released when you turned 25. Your mother was never supposed to know about it. I was 28. This money had been sitting there for 3 years and I'd had no idea. Yes, I said immediately. Please send everything. The letters arrived 4 days later. I sat in my bedroom while Derek kept Lily entertained downstairs and I read them. All 37 of them. My grandmother explained everything. How my mother had always been controlling even as a child. How she tried to dictate who my grandmother's friends could be, what she should wear, how she should decorate her house. How when my grandfather died, my mother tried to take over the funeral arrangements entirely, excluding my grandmother from decisions about her own husband's service. The final straw had been when my mother told my grandmother she couldn't babysit me anymore because she let me run wild and eat too much sugar. I was 7. My grandmother had been heartbroken but chose to step back rather than cause a custody battle that would hurt me. I hope by the time you read this, she wrote in the last letter, you'll have seen your mother's true nature. I hope you'll be strong enough to set boundaries I never could. And I hope you'll forgive me for not fighting harder to stay in your life. Thought I was protecting you. I see now I should have protected you from her. I cried for an hour. The trust fund? It was $43,000. My grandmother had been saving every penny she could for me. Do you know what I decided to do with it? I booked a cruise. Not the same one my parents had wanted. A different one 3 months later. I invited Derek's parents, my cousin Amber, who'd always been kind to Lily, and Rachel and her family. People who actually loved my daughter. People who didn't think a 3-year-old being loud was a criminal offense. Then I did something I probably shouldn't have done, but I was still angry. I posted about it on Facebook. Nothing dramatic, just, so excited for our family cruise in November. Lily can't wait to go on the big boat, with people who actually want to spend time with her. My mother saw it within an hour. And what she did next, I never saw it coming. My mother commented on the post publicly. Not a private message. A comment for everyone to see. How nice that you found people willing to tolerate your parenting choices. Some of us just have higher standards for family gatherings. Enjoy your trip. I stared at my phone in disbelief. She really just wrote that. We're all our mutual friends, all our extended family, everyone could see it. But then something amazing happened. People started responding. And not in the way my mother expected. Derek's mom Patricia commented first. Higher standards? You mean excluding a 3-year-old child for acting her age? That's not having standards, that's being cruel. Then my cousin Amber. Aunt Helen, I've watched you criticize Jenna's parenting for years. Lily is a sweet, normal kid. The problem was never her. Then people I barely knew started chiming in. Friends from high school, old neighbors, even some of my parents' own friends. I always wondered why we never saw Jenna and her family at gatherings anymore. Now it makes sense. This explains so much about why your own mother stopped speaking to you, Helen. That last comment was from Diane, my grandmother's neighbor. She'd found the post and decided to speak up. My mother deleted her comment within 10 minutes. Then she deleted her entire Facebook account. My phone rang immediately. My dad. Are you happy now? He shouted. Your mother is humiliated. You've made us look like terrible people in front of everyone we know. I didn't make you look like anything, I said calmly. I posted about my family vacation. Mom's the one who decided to publicly insult my parenting. You're tearing this family apart. No, Dad. You and Mom did that when you decided my daughter wasn't good enough for you. He hung up on me. I thought that would be the end of it. I really did. But 2 weeks later, Owen showed up at my door. Alone. No, Cassidy. Can I come in? He asked quietly. I hesitated, then let him in. We sat in the living room. The same room where Lily was now playing with her dolls, completely unaware of the family drama surrounding her. Cassidy and I had a fight, Owen said. About all this. I raised an eyebrow. Oh. She wanted me to cut contact with you. Said you were toxic and disrespectful. He looked at Lily, who was making her dolls have a tea party. But I was watching Lily the whole time at Mom and Dad's that day. She knocked over one vase by accident. But she said, sorry, immediately. She wasn't even being that loud. Do you think he should have spoken up sooner? I've been thinking about when we were kids, Owen continued. Remember how Mom used to make you redo your homework if it wasn't perfect? How Dad wouldn't let us play outside if we might get our clothes dirty. I thought that was just normal strict parenting. But watching them reject Lily for being a normal kid, I don't know. It made me really look at them differently. What are you saying, Owen? I'm saying I'm sorry. I should have defended you and Lily that day. I should have said something. He paused. Cassidy thinks Mom and Dad are right. She keeps saying kids need discipline and structure. And I'm starting to realize that maybe Cassidy and I want different things. I didn't know what to say to that. Anyway, Owen stood up. I wanted you to know that I'm coming on your cruise. If you'll have me. I already booked my ticket on the same sailing. I felt tears prick my eyes. Really? Really? I want to actually get to know my niece. And I want to figure out who I am without Mom and Dad telling me what to think. After Owen left, I felt something shift. Like maybe this wasn't just about me setting boundaries. Maybe it was about breaking a cycle that had affected our whole family for generations. The next month was quiet. My parents didn't call. Neither did Aunt Margaret or Uncle Frank. I heard through Owen that they'd tried to book a last-minute trip somewhere else but couldn't agree on anything. Apparently, my mom and Aunt Margaret got into a huge fight about whose fault it was that the original cruise fell through. Then 3 days before our cruise, my doorbell rang at 8 in the morning. I looked through the peephole. My mother stood there alone. She looked smaller somehow. Tired. I opened the door but didn't invite her in. I need to talk to you, she said quietly. No demands. No accusations. Okay. Your father doesn't know I'm here. She took a shaky breath. I read the letters. My blood went cold. What letters? Diane sent them to me too. Copies of what your grandmother wrote to you. She thought I should see them. My mother's eyes were red. I never realized. I didn't know Mom felt that way. That I'd pushed her away like that. I waited. I wasn't going to make this easy for her. I saw what people wrote on Facebook before I deleted it. About me being like I am with you and Lily. Her voice cracked. Was I really that awful to Patricia? To Derek? Yes, I said simply. You were. She flinched. I thought I was just trying to maintain standards. See things, proper. Under control. You were trying to control everyone around you. And when they didn't fit into your perfect picture, you pushed them away. My mother looked at Lily's toys scattered in the hallway behind me. She's just a baby. She's 3. And she's wonderful exactly as she is. We stood there in silence for a long moment. I don't expect you to forgive me, my mother finally said. And I don't expect you to cancel your trip or invite us along. But I needed you to know that I'm sorry. I'm going to talk to someone. A therapist. Your father thinks I'm being ridiculous, but I don't care what he thinks right now. That was new. My mother disagreeing with my father. I can't promise I'll be different right away, she continued. But I want to try. I don't want to lose you the way I lost my mother. I don't want Lily to grow up reading letters about why Grandma couldn't be in her life. What would you have said to her? I took a deep breath. I appreciate you saying that. But I need to see actual change, not just words. You hurt me. You hurt my daughter by rejecting her. That's not something that gets fixed with one conversation. I know. My mother nodded. Can I Can I ask what you're doing for Lily's birthday next month? We're having a party at the park. Nothing fancy. Just cake and games and her friends. May I come? I'll sit in the back. I won't interfere or criticize. I just want to see her be happy. I thought about it. About my grandmother's letters. About the cycle of cutting people out, of demanding perfection, of losing people you love because you can't accept them as they are. You can come, I said slowly. But if you make one critical comment, you leave. Agreed. Agreed. She left without asking to come inside, without trying to hug me, without making excuses. His left. The cruise was magical. Lily had the time of her life. She made friends in the kids' club, went swimming every day, and ate ice cream for breakfast twice because Derek's parents spoiled her rotten. Owen played with her for hours, teaching her card games and taking her to see the ship's magician. Rachel's kids adored her. And not once did anyone complain that she was too loud. I posted pictures every single day. My mother didn't comment, but I could see she was viewing them. My father never looked at any of them. When we got back, Lily's birthday party came around. My mother showed up early, carrying a small gift wrapped simply. She sat on a bench away from the main group and just watched. When Lily fell and scraped her knee, I saw my mother's hands grip the bench, but she didn't rush over. She let me handle it. At the end of the party, Lily ran up to her with frosting all over her face. Grandma, did you see me on the swing? I went so high. My mother's eyes filled with tears. I saw, sweetheart. You were very brave. Do you want to come to my next birthday too? My mother looked at me. I gave a tiny nod. I would love that, my mother whispered. It wasn't perfect. My dad still barely spoke to me. Aunt Margaret sent a cold Christmas card with no personal note. Cassidy and Owen separated, and last I heard they're getting divorced. But my mother? She came to therapy like she promised. She started asking about Lily's interests instead of criticizing her behavior. She apologized to Patricia, and Bob actually apologized for how she treated them. She's not completely different. She still makes the occasional comment about healthy eating when Lily has candy, still straightens picture frames when she visits. But she catches herself now. She stops and apologizes. Last week she asked if we'd consider doing a family cruise next year. All of us, Derek's parents included. But only if Lily wants to come, she added quickly. Because what's the point of a family trip without family? I'm thinking about it. Because maybe, just maybe, some people can change. Not because you force them to, but because they finally see what they're about to lose. So that's my story. Did I handle it right? I don't know. Some people think I should have cut my mother off completely. Others think I should have forgiven her immediately. What do you think? Was I too harsh or not harsh enough? Have you ever had to set boundaries with family like this? If you enjoyed this story, or even if parts of it made you angry or uncomfortable, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button if this resonated with you in any way, and if there's something you didn't like or think I should have done differently, please share that too. Your perspective matters. Thanks for listening to my story. It means more than you know. It means more than you know. It means more than you know.